You are now about to witness the awesome, a crushing might of the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper! Welcome, my friends. Your show seemingly never ends. This is version 420 of the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper. I'm your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Happy Father's Day for all you deserving fathers out there. Any stripe of variety. If you're a father out there and you're holding it down, this is a day for us. Validation needed from no one except those who gave birth to our cause to have. But let's let Bob Riley sing us in as he has every single week since 2007. The debut of Fight Book and Combat Music Radio. Put on this on as Buckle Up. Stigmata. Intro. All of Nothing. Calling Him Just. Still available for Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California, where they shoot it at the nightclub. They hit your car with a hammer. And they run your mail to a 10 out of town nowhere else to open up a substandard restaurant in Central Florida that will inevitably fail. Listen well. Yeah, man, all the dads out there that are holding it down, yeah, we're about it here. We're about it here. Listen well. We got a lot to talk about. And look at boys back. But I'm taking a real good look at you. I'm taking a real good look at your face. So here, payback is always. All right. All right, so here we are, 420. I guess that means we should all get high, like we haven't been. No. This is a Father's Day, and it is not. It is, I think, the second one since my father died, and I feel incredibly unburdened. Right, my mother got divorced in 1968 from my father, and when I was about 6 years old, and pretty much immediately remarried my stepfather, who was, a constant and continual presence in my life from about the age of 6 until now. So I still call him on Father's Day, and that fulfills my Father's Day niche. But of course, if you got 4 kids, the day rides or dies on the healthy benefit and notices of your children, who indeed make or break the day. So they at this point have all texted me. I got one who's 6,000 miles away, 2 who are 3,000 miles away, and 1 who's about 10 yards from me. Here in Spain, they celebrate Father's Day like months ago. So, and we forgot it then, and it was forgotten today. But we had a nice, easy day. Hung out with some Spanish folks yesterday who had spent some time in the States. Guy's a remote engineer for Microsoft, but he's here in Spain. His wife, kids, completely wonderful time yesterday. Went to some, they have these massive play warehouses for kids. Kids just run wild, and the parents sit and drink. So it was actually very, very cool. Good stories. Guys snuck his Mustang over, cost $2,000, which is making me think about the Chevy. I drove by a guy yesterday, or he drove by me with what's the word? Thunderbird, 1957 Thunderbird. And I was like, goddamn right. You see that here, you'll never forget that guy. So on the one hand, the streets are too narrow, can't get good gas for it, can't find anybody to work on it. It's a historical vehicle, which I could, I don't think I'd have to do too much to bring it up to roadworthiness in terms of environmental stuff here. However, it's going to be a complete pain in the ass to park, drive, or do anything with except be on the freeway for brief periods of time. And even if it's only $2,000, only $2,000, even for $2,000, there's the insurance issue, which here in Spain is not onerous, but I can't think of why. I love the car, but it's 30 years. It's had its time. I still need to sell it. That hasn't happened yet, but I have a caretaker for it, and a caretaker for it who owns an airplane. So I'm hoping that a few months of driving it, he gets so seduced by it. All I want is a skull game frame from the back. If you've seen the car, you know what I'm talking about. So all my kids have heard, it, and I talked to my stepfather, and it was an interesting conversation, right? Because he and his third wife, she's somehow taken umbrage with me, and I've talked about it before. I'm not interested in going through it again. Um, but so we keep talking around him coming to visit, but he's 87, and it's like There's a skit with Billy Crystal and Christopher Guest on the old Saturday Night Live, and they keep talking about or Rich Hall and Billy Crystal. And they're like, yeah, maybe we're gonna. These are two laborer guys. So yeah, maybe we should go over there and go to Horn and Hardest and get a sandwich. And they're like, yeah, maybe we should go get a sandwich. They're like, who are we kidding? That's something else we're never gonna do. So on the one hand, he's like completely lucid, like and of course, you realize this is going to trundle into a discussion of mortality. He's completely lucid, sharp as a fucking tack. You can hear it in his voice. Brain is firing, but there's now a realization that there's something else we're never going to get to. And if you want to talk about issues of mortality, it was some benefit to knowing less as we grew up. Like, oh, my cousin just had her father's youngest sister just died, so her aunt, her great aunt, or her something, whatever. She's 100 years old. She just died, and I remember her a little bit as a kid. So she, xed out. But the thing is, man, in the old days, you could say, "Oh, this is old aunt, Tracy, whatever. She's a little senile," and this was a blessed relief. With dementia and talk about Alzheimer's and efforts to mediate this shit, so they could keep people clean. And just generally, some people are naturally, to it. But do you understand what that's like, right? To be firing on all cylinders, but no, like, is it today? Is it tomorrow? Um, no, I knew my biology. You gotta go to the Substack. Go to Look What You Made Me Do and type in father, the final installment. And I've written about my father pretty extensively. I know quite a bit about him, actually. We've had a very fraught relationship, and of course, I am the holder of all of his. I mean, last week I showed you his varsity letter. I've got his accolades, his stuff he sent me over the years. Even though we've had one real conversation since I turned 19 when he disowned me. So, and then made the mistake of reading some bullshit letter. I asked my sister what she thought I should do with it. She said, you should throw it out. And I had it here on the floor of the office, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going to throw it out. And I made the mistake of fucking reading it. And it sent me into such a lather of fucking absolute rage. I was like, I should have listened to her. I should have listened to her, because in the fullness of time, all the stuff he told me in this last letter that he wrote me, when which preceded the last conversation we had. So he stopped talking to me when I was 19, wrote me this letter when on the occasion of my first wife having called him after we broke up over something. And she just said, oh, it would help me emotionally. And then he called me back because he thought I had died, and he flew out to see me. So we had like a couple of days together. And so he wrote a letter after that. And when I read that in the fullness of time, I'm just, I can't, my heart is hardened to like a diamond shaped hardness. His crimes were multi and varied post facto. He's got 3 kids. He had 3 kids, 6 grandkids. He disowned all of his kids, has never met his grandkids, and he lived within miles of at least 2 of them. So this is, no, I don't wish I never knew him. It was very instructive. I mean, he was, I mean, this is a couple of things I learned, and I learned how easy it is to be a good dad. You just have to not fuck up, like don't rape the kids. Okay. Got that. And, don't beat the moms. Okay. Got that. Other than that, he was afforded every single benefit of the doubt, as and this ties into the entire show, as the distanced and somewhat mysterious father. He had the benefit of all of my imaginings, all of my strivings, all of my desires to best and to be. And he was super competitive. So like he'd take me out we go jogging, and he'd be running backwards, mocking me as we're jogging. I was like, yeah. So the one story, the one story that I find that I really love is when he came out, and yeah, he was just playing spy. That we worked out, and I put 315 on the bar. Naturally, this is when I was not natural. And he's like, I can't spot you with that. And this is him after mocking me when I was 6 years old, trying to lift weights. Oh, your little spaghetti arms. I was like, yeah, I don't really need you to spot me. And I did close grip bench press with 315. Just bang, 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 knocked him out, and then put it back in the rack. I was like, hey, you want to go? It was a great feeling. In the South, they say a boy doesn't become a man till his father tells him so. Nah, that's not the way it works with me. When I put it back in the rack, it told him so. So anyway, so this is 2 years and now without him. And I have to say, honestly, outside of reading that letter, I feel better than I've ever been. But talking to my stepfather like I did minutes ago, I actually, this mordant sensation of more the passage, and I thought, and of course, yeah, gaslight. It wasn't even gaslight. It was just fucking lying. It was just like stupid shit. Like he gave me shit in this letter about what did he say? He was like, "You got some serious hero worship shit going on." I mean, you fucking piece of shit. Are you fucking kidding me? You're talking about the feelings of an 8-year-old who's supposed to feel that way about their fathers? Yeah, I could fucking murder you again I could strangle you, piece of shit. So, so probably not all unresolved, but I'm okay with that. And to tell you the truth, the birth of my first kid is when my heart started to harden. Because if he felt a fraction of the way about me that I felt about her, we would never have this problem. But these guys in their third marriages, I don't know what it is. They put their balls in a ringer. That's a valuable lesson I learned from him. I'm not the Nah, you know that expression about cutting off your nose to spite your face, whatever. I'm not taking short shrift. No, nah. It's like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? This is the family crest. What is that supposed to mean? And who do you think you're talking to? This is the Robinson way. So yeah, I shouldn't have read the letter. And I put it in a recycling bag. And now that they have garbage cans, you don't have garbage cans at your house here. I mean, you do, but you just take it to a central location and drop it. And I put it in the recycling bin. And until they got that bin, I kept thinking, I got to go back and get that letter. Anything that would motivate me to this kind of rage. I just have to have it. And you know what? I fucking steeled up and I just let him take it. I just, so yeah. But yeah, so talking to my stepfather, yeah, I said, yeah, I love you, man. It's good to talk to you. And he's got a birthday in a couple of days, so I'll talk to him again. But it dawns on me I'm not going to be happy about his passage. And more specifically, I'm not going to be, I mean, he's only 23, 4 years older than me. I'm not going to be happy with this idea that you could be completely lucid and then off the planet. The methodology that I'm using right now is one that I borrowed from Ho Jogain, actually. And he goes, isn't it crazy that we're on this planet hurtling through space that, suspended in some inky darkness? And I was like, yeah, in a lot of ways, dying is escaping from a crashing plane. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. This is how I'm trying to square myself. But, there are a couple of things that, I have said. I like the way Steve Jobs died. He's in bed. He's got his family around him. He goes, oh, wow. And he dies. That's all right. I went to Steve Shaughnessy, Whipping Boy's old drummer, went to visit him in the hospital. He died. I think he died in his sleep. I don't like dying in his sleep because, that wasn't your expectation when you laid down to close your eyes. You got to, So, but it's a good day. It's a good day. You get to think about what fatherhood means. And I was reading some Simone de Beauvoir, right? You know who she is. So she said something, and I mentioned this the other day. She said, men have to buy into their families. And she was like really like obsessed with this idea that women can have families, but men, if you don't buy in, you don't get one. And I was like, well, let me argue with this great philosopher. I go, well, she's actually right. Right? Like you do have to buy it. If you're a man, you have to do to get into your family, you have to buy in and you have to continue buying in. Otherwise, you have no family. A woman could give birth to a child and take that, and women bear a significant burden as a result of having to do so, get paid less, stay home, do other things, but it's their family. And man, you got to buy in. So if you actually manage to do all those things, you buy in, take care of your kids, you show up and do the shit. As far as I'm concerned, today is your day. You're a fucking champion. Every day is your day. It comes back. It comes back in spades. Uh, um, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's well, whatever. It is what it is. It is sad for, my father made the claim in the letter that, oh, I will, separated from you, but and then of course he'll read that shit in the mind of a kid, New York and Maryland, where he was, or DC, it could be another world. Where you get a guy who's in a band and starts touring. I could make that drive every fucking day. I saw my father twice a year. I saw him 1 month in the summer when I would go down and stay. And I did that for like 3 years. And then I would see him one day at Christmas. And that's it. Look at the map and see how far Maryland is. Kensington, Maryland is from Brooklyn. I'd have been making that drive all the time. At him, no, he was busy getting his PhD. It's all right. I'm not here to complain. I'm just noting. I'm just noting. But the issue is, in the issue that's been driving me crazy is stewardship. Now, I don't want to tell tales out of school. It's not my story to tell necessarily. But at one point, when he disowned one of my sisters, he's disowned all of his kids, actually. Only one went crawling back. She was pregnant and with twins. And he had found on vacation some mangy dog that was incontinent and said, we're going on vacation. Could you take care of our mangy dog? She goes, first of all, I'm in an apartment. Second of all, I'm like 7 months pregnant. The dog is incontinent and has mange. And we can't have dogs in the apartment. It's illegal. And he goes, you're really fucking us over, and disowned him for this. Okay. She has her twins. And he hasn't contacted her. And she's like, okay, that's your choice. Her husband gets involved, says, are you really going to fall out over something like this? He goes, yeah. He goes, okay, well, that's it. Well, they get pissed. The third wife gets a bee in her bonnet and starts thinking about grandparent rights. She goes to my father's sister. My father has like 9 half siblings, or 10 or 11 half siblings, 2 from his rapist father, and then 8 from his poor beleaguered mother, who married a guy that she didn't like just to get away from the rapist grandfather of mine. So the third wife gets a bee in her bonnet. So I don't like that they can deny that. Goes to my father's half sister and says, I want you to say that they have a problem with alcohol so we can take the kids. The sister goes, that's the craziest fucking thing I ever heard. I don't know for a fact that they have a problem with alcohol. I'm not going to do it. So they stop talking to her. That's what I'm dealing with. All right. This is not stewardship. This is not stewardship. This is something else. This is crazy. This is bending over to wife number 3 for reasons. And he says in the letter, I finally found a soulmate, somebody who loves me. You found a fucking cult, bro. This is up there with Solomon and cutting babies in half. Are you fucking kidding me? This is what we're dealing with. So stewardship is the fucking issue.
Thanks for joining us for yet another episode of the show that seemingly never ends, the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper. For the full show, archives, and bonus content, subscribe at showstomper.substack.com. And be sure to join us live every Sunday on the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper YouTube channel. And if you enjoyed the Show Stomper experience, please leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. For links to more Eugene-centric content like his newsletter, other podcasts, books, socials, and options to support the show, check the post wherever you're watching or listening right now. Are you still there? I'm here too. This is June. The Show Stomper is produced by me, June M. Williams of Original Designs. Thanks again for joining us this week. We'll catch you on the flip side.